Hey everyone, Josh here, the Wargaming Noob, back with another scale modeling unboxing and build. This time it is the Tamiya 1/48th scale German Steyr command car. Just wanted to expand my 1/48th scale miniatures or models, and that I can also use these for bolt action because they scale well with the 156 scale figures. But in any case, let's take a look at the box. You have your command car here, I believe, and we're going to find this out as we go through the unboxing, that there will be a driver and a passenger in the sprue. This is kit number 53, again 1/48th scale. Here's what a depiction of the command car for Russia, autumn 1942. On this side, just another picture of the front. There's also a die-cast chassis that'll kind of give weight to the model, so that's always nice. And that's the first time I'm seeing that in a kit like this. Again, I don't have very many kits, but it's kind of cool that they include a weight in there, or a die-cast metal chassis to kind of weigh down the model after you build it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. Alright, so in the box you have a couple baggies here. This first baggie has a few of the components for the vehicle itself, as well as the glass. And we'll take a closer look at the sprues in a little while. This sprue has some of the interior pieces, and as well as the, I believe, the passenger right there. And then finally, this sprue that does have the driver, it looks like, as well as the wheels and the undercarriage components for the model. All right, this is the, I gotta try to get this out. It's actually built into the box so that it doesn't fly out right here. But here's the die-cast chassis, so this will allow you to, one, put the underside of the vehicle together, and two, keep it weighted down. A couple more things here. We do have the decal sheet, and we'll take a closer look at that in a little bit. We have an insert for their 1/48th scale models, the line. And then finally, we have the build guide, and we'll take a closer look at that. And I believe that is it. But as you can see, the die-cast chassis is attached to the box, so we will take care of that in a little while. All right, moving on to the build guide. They'll have some information on the Steyr in the front there. And as you can see, to me, is very clear instructions on how to assemble this model. There. And look at the rear. The glass for the windows, your passenger and driver, interior components, the canopy, if you wanted to have the canopy on the car. You also have the version where it's folded down. The markings for your car. And then it does, I'm assuming, list the Tamiya paints that you can use, as well as instructions on how to apply decals for that. So, all right, that's the build guide. Right, next up we have the decal sheet. I'm going to zoom in. Again, you have a number of identifying plates, as well as some of the other decals. Really not much to say. It is not a large decal sheet, but it will obviously add some extra detail to your Steyr as you are completing the build. All right, moving on to the sprues. I am just grabbing them from the pile, so there's no order for this, but here's the first one that I grabbed. It does have the nose of the Steyr, as well as fenders, the tires and wheels right there, the transmission and axles, as well as grille and the driver. So again, not a lot of components. Obviously, if you are new to scale modeling or modeling in general, or if you are coming to modeling, scale modeling from, let's say, wargaming, specifically like Warlord and Italy's model kits, they are not as detailed as the Tamiya kits. So this will provide a lot of modeling I guess, satisfaction. If you're looking to do the little things, just keep in mind the little tiny pieces can be easily lost. So just be careful when you are assembling. So that's the first sprue. We'll look at the next sprue. All right, next sprue up, we have interior components here. We also have the passenger, the officer that'll be sitting in the rear of the vehicle. You have your seats. You have your folded canopy for the car. I think that's the version that I'm going to go with because I do want to show off the interior of the vehicle, which will make it a little bit more difficult to model because obviously more stuff is being shown. But, you know, I kind of just like seeing the interior, and I'll, you know, allow me to work on painting up the interior more precisely than you would if the canopy was up. So that is that. All right, the last sprue are the main components of the body as well as the canopy up. Here's your front end here, the hood. This will be for your front glass. There's the main chassis and all the other components and some other stuff here. So that's should be pretty simple enough. You do get a baggie of the window glass. Now, in my previous modeling, not on this channel, but on my historical wargaming one, I've not had the best of luck with glass, but I'm sure it's not that hard. I just have to take my time. Whether or not I add this to the model, like assemble it on the model before painting, I do have liquid mask, so if I were to do that, I would just cover this in liquid mask so that it doesn't get painted over. So, all right. All right, the final component is just the die-cast chassis. And here I'm going to try to remove it from its container so we can take a closer look. It's not very, there's nothing special about it other than that it is die-cast and metal, as you can see. It is a matte finish tooling. It says 2007 on here. But it will definitely lend weight to the model, so when you are displaying it will not like be thrown off or fall off your shelf or anything like that. In terms of like accidentally knocking it over, there's a little bit more weight to kind of keep it where it is. I think it's similar to the Waterline 1700 Tamiya ships, where they'll include a weight for the hull of the ship, so that's kind of like the similar thing. Although in this sense, because this is the chassis, you can see that there are some leaf springs right here, and this is probably for the rear of the vehicle. So, all right, so this is an unbox and build, but I'm not going to be building this live on camera. I will be showing off portions of the model as I build it up, and then by the end, hopefully I will have it completed and maybe painted if I'm lucky. All right, we're gonna come back to the first part of the assembly, and we'll go from there. All right, here it is, the Tamiya 1/48 scale Steyr, all assembled for the most part. Unfortunately, as with many models with fiddly parts, I lost one of the pennants that were supposed to go on the fender here. As I was trying to assemble it with tweezers, it just flew out, and obviously can't find it. So I'm just going to forego using the pennants, which kind of sucks because I wanted to put as many of the components on the model as possible, but it is what it is. As you can see, all assembled, not painted. I don't have the crew, the driver and the officer, glued in just yet because I'm going to paint them separately. For the most part, this model was fairly easy to put together. I did have, and I'll show you guys, an issue fitting the hood and then the doors on both sides together. They just would not fit properly, and in fact, if you look on this side, it's not lined up properly. In fact, this part of the hood is kind of pushed up a little bit. However, on this side, I was able to get it to fit properly. That was my one pain point in assembling this model, was trying to get the doors and the hood lined up properly. While not perfect, it looks pretty good. Once it's painted up, you're not even going to notice it unless I obviously point it out. But I also wanted to show off because I did mention it earlier in the video that I would probably be using this for 1/56 scale bolt action. Here's a Ranger. This 156 scale Ranger from Warlord Games does seem to, it looks pretty good in terms of size comparison. So I will be using this model for bolt action. But you can see, and it's weird because with some other 1/48 scale kits from Tamiya that I've modeled, specifically I think the Dingo, the figures that were included are a lot bigger than this. This is 1/48 scale included with the Steyr here. You can see there's a huge size difference, but with the Dingo, the figure itself was actually much larger than 1/56 scale. So I don't know what's up with that scaling. And that could also be just like my inexperience with scale modeling. But I'm very happy with how this came out. As you can see, I do have the canopy down and I do have the windows up. I wanted to have the windows up just to, you know, kind of work with this type of glass material or a clear plastic material. And now I have a command car that I can use for bolt action, and I'm very happy with that. The next thing obviously will be to paint the model and then apply the decals. So that is pretty much it for the assembly. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know I didn't do the build on camera and I didn't actually do like a progress build like I was hoping to. But to be honest, the assembly of this miniature or this model was a lot faster and a lot easier than I expected it to be. And by the time I assembled most of the major components of the model, all I had to do was put it, you know, the few together, and then that was it. I do really, really like the weighted chassis. It does give this more heft and does allow it to stay on like the table without fear of like really knocking it around too easily. So that is it. The Tamiya 1/48 scale German Steyr command car. Great model, easy to put together with the exception of the alignment of the doors and the hood. But yeah, great model. Very happy to have built it. We'll be doing another 1/48 scale model very soon, another Tamiya model. But we'll talk about that at that time. So if you like this video, go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it if you would. Click the bell notification icon to get notified of all new unboxing builds on this channel, and click the link in the description below to join our Discord server. That is the best way I could personally interact with you and chit-chat you about scale modeling and everything else that I cover on this channel and every other channel that I have. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more unboxing builds from WarGamingNewb Scale Modeling.